we live, called Jet City Woman. And you're always there. Every time I cry your name at night, you look close and say it's alright. I look in your eyes just like the rain washing away, wash over me. Touching your face, I feel the heat of your heartbeat echo in my head.
Queensryche live at Day on the Green. How was it up there?
It was wonderful.
Wonderful?
It's better than Cats.
Was it good for all of you?
Orgasmic.
Is that something new on your chin?
He's talking to me.
Where's that chin been?
The band is all growing goatees and mustaches. This is wonderful.
Oh, the rhythm section.
So you guys are, your tour is winding up soon. Are you going to take like a long break?
We're going to take about 10 years off and come up with something really different.
Like change the whole sound of the band or something?
We'll play 90s stuff, which will be in 10 years, actually.
You have material all ready to go, roll out?
No, not a thing.
Nothing at all?
We got a lot of work to do.
You guys don't write on the road, is that what you're saying?
Not much. Well, we wish we could, but...
This is a specially designed answer just for our record company, Kurt. We have no idea what the next album is going to be on.
I see. There's a subliminal thing going on here. Okay.
Phone calls are going to be rolling in tomorrow.
Okay, well, still to come here at Day on the Green are Soundgarden, Faith No More, and Metallica, so don't go away.
I'm Chris DeGarmo.
I'm Michael Wilton.
We were able to use an album which communicates with tons of people, you know, and we were able to write music that, you know, for us was creatively satisfying, you know, everything that we want to function as a band, and we also managed to get something out that hopefully, you know, raised a few questions to somebody about, you know, trying to take some responsibility for themselves. This album is a combination of very diverse musical and lyrical ideas, and it's different. You know, the last album was very cohesive. Everything followed one track after another, lyrics relating to one another like chapters. And we felt that we needed to do something different with this record, that we didn't want to get stuck in a mold of doing that every time we wanted to make a record from here on out. Certainly a conceptual album is something we'll consider again, I think, in the future. It was great to do, very challenging. We've never underestimated our audience, and I think they took the challenge. The challenge.
I think asking questions is a great thing. That's how you find out things. You know, I know there's a lot of things that really bother me. You know, you name it, and so I like to ask questions to find out why. We have underpaid teachers who are one of the most important blocks in our system to train our kids to compete with what's going on in the rest of the world. Technology in other parts of the world, we were talking about this today, is just exploding, you know? And we're not training our kids to become scientists to compete with that kind of technology.
Or to not even compete, just to function in a high-tech world.
Yeah, and other countries are blowing us out of the water economically now.
Or has it just begun? In silent lucidity.
The last couple of years, just reading science journals and things like that about the ozone situation. And I see it in this area, which at one time was such a pristine environment, and now we're having so much growth that, you know, it's amazing. You can't even get down the freeway anymore, you know, without gridlock. There's so many people driving cars. You know, the average car puts out over a ton of pollution a year. You know, think about how many cars there are in a typical city. And Seattle isn't that big, 1.2 million, you know, and there's a lot bigger cities elsewhere in the world putting out, you know, 4 times as much. That's just out of a car. Then you got factories dumping tons of goo into the lakes and streams where our fish are, you know. Fish is the main, fish is the main source of diet, you know. Chemicals being injected, and they're raising chickens now that are square. Can you believe this? Because the breast of the chicken is the most delectable part of the meat, right? That's the preferred piece of meat. So they're growing these chickens with huge breasts, and they're trying to be efficient about it, so they're breeding them without having a head. So they're square-like, and they're keeping them alive by tubes that feed them nutrients.
And this is the only rock and roll interview this week that you'll hear this type of information. Jeff was just talking about environment and all these things, you know, it's hopeful and nice to see that the 90s, you know, there's a unified sense that I think anybody who's aware of things on a global level can feel that's happening. Suddenly, you know, people are aware of our environment, you know.
This is a worst-case scenario. You win tickets to the Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington. You jet over to England. Get to your free hotel accommodations totally exhausted. But when you get into your room,
Queensryche is using it for rehearsal space.
You've ruined our jam.
Should you A, call hotel security, B, bootleg the session, or C, party with a suitcase full of cash?
So you're the winner.
Want to sing backup?
Give me $100.
Enter the Headbangers Ball Invading the Empire contest. Win a trip for two to the year's premier hard rock concert, the Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington. A bag full of cash and a chance to hang with Queensryche playing live to 100,000 clanging metalheads. Send a postcard with your name, age, and address to Headbangers Ball Invading the Empire contest. P.O. Box 899, Radio City Station, New York, New York, 10101.
I'll give you my guitar, too. Psych.
Every time I need to see you won't be there, and you're always there. Every time I find your name at night, you propose to say it's alright.
Ricky Rackman here, backstage at Castle Donington, England, for Monsters of Rock weekend. And right now I'm here with Jeff Tate, the singer of Queensryche. And you guys are about to go on stage a little bit later this afternoon. You pretty excited about playing here?
No. I know, so honestly.
I mean, aren't you familiar? Like, did you always hear about all the big Monsters of Rock shows that they've had here? Or?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
But did you ever think that one day you'd be playing them, or never really gave it much thought?
Well, it's a good position to be in because it gives you massive amounts of exposure rather than doing your own tour for a month slogging around England, and you can just play one show and you're done. But I like intimate small shows, and a festival situation isn't very pleasing in my opinion.
As opposed to playing in front of 80,000 people like tonight.
Yeah, it's more from the standpoint of let's let as many people as possible see the band and then get the hell out. I mean that in all due respect. It's not like, you know, a pure business move, but we've already been over here once, and we brought our own show and did a massive tour of England and Europe already this last winter. So this is round 2 for us.
Okay. We'll be back talking to the guys from Queensryche a little bit later, as well as the other bands partaking in the Monsters of Rock Festival today at Castle Donington as MTV's Monsters of Rock weekend continues.